Hi, I'm CJ Powers, and I want to share a few heartfelt thoughts about my journey into storytelling. I started my career in the film and television industry, and years later shifted to the Fortune 100 world to stabilize my family and prepare my kids for college. After a divorce and becoming an empty nester, I have now focused once again on my life's calling. It's my desire to develop stories that demonstrate wholesome living and sound moral judgment. I'm a firm believer that only the people at a local level can make unity a priority, and I believe my calling is to provide entertainment that demonstrates how to introduce morals and a vision for unity into our cross-cultural communities. This calling in my life has had many triggers, but I'm going to share with you the one that placed my focus on creating stories for the silver screen. In his book, Mastery, Robert Greene referred to one's life calling as a life's task. He also shared how it must be triggered and nurtured into its shining glory using at least one of 5 strategies. There's primal inclination, Darwinian, rebellion, adaptation, life or death. The primal inclination strategy suggested that an object can trigger a deep response, and I can confirm it with a life experience. You see, when the award-winning movie Oliver was released, Dad treated us out to watch the musical. He purchased a behind-the-scenes collectible and let me look at it first. I was mesmerized by it, and I can't even remember if I ever let anyone else in the family read it. The thing that was so amazing to me is that they took one street scene and turned it into 4 completely different streets in the movie. That totally captivated me. It was an incredible turning point for me, and from that day forward I knew that I would be creating stories in the world of motion pictures. Greene shared that sometimes a particular activity that brings with it a feeling of heightened power can also bring clarity to one's life task. I'll never forget that moment for me. My family was taking a trip to California. My dad took us to a motion picture studio. We walked through a back lot, and I got to see how fake things were made to appear real in order to tell a great story. While we were in California, my dad also bought a souvenir book that had the names, addresses, and phone numbers of the stars. We drove by several houses to see if the information was accurate, and it was. After we returned home, I decided to call Ron Howard. He answered the phone, and after asking how I got his number, was polite enough to answer several of my questions about storytelling in film. It wasn't until years later that I would read Greene's writing about how true inclinations can be revealed through an encounter with an actual master. Ron Howard was not the only master I was privileged to learn from over the years, but he was the first one that set the tone for my exploration of story and drive to become the best master of story that I could be. I've shared only a few of the several moments of my life's disposition or inclination or life's task or calling in life, whatever you want to call it. If I had time, I would also share with you how miserable my life is when I'm acting outside of that calling. The important thing is that I do a little something every day to further my calling. Based on Greene's book, I've decided to immediately focus on creating moral and wholesome entertainment for Gen Z, followed by the creation of a few products for millennials. Over the coming weeks, I will start out by focusing on writing The Tree Jumper. The main character will be a teen boy who excels at parkour and skateboarding. He'll fall in love with the cheerleader who is dating the football team's quarterback, and the story will demonstrate the moral choices he faces and the benefits of choosing a healthy lifestyle over one driven by peer pressure and bullies. I'm confident that these projects will have the ability to jumpstart my career because it will come from my natural inclinations. I hope this video inspires you to figure out what drives your passion as well, and I hope we'll soon be able to share stories of creative experiences from our new careers. Thank you.